Hey, y'all, welcome in to the Week 13 edition of WWL Radio's Fall Football Preview. My name is Jeff Nowak, WWL Digital Sports Producer, and I'm going to be leading you through all the action coming to WWL Radio AM 870 FM 1053 this week. This is sponsored by the Louisiana Office of Tourism. Get together in Louisiana and check out louisianahomecoming.com for more information. And, let's get right into it. Second straight week. Second straight Thursday night schedule. I know I'm looking forward to getting back on a normal Sunday NFL schedule. I can imagine the Saints are as well, because that leads us into this week, the first game of this week, coming to you on Thursday Night Football. Yes, again, Thursday night for the Saints. They are welcoming the 7-4 Dallas Cowboys, the NFC East leading Dallas Cowboys. That'll be at 7:20 p.m. Broadcast on Fox, on the NFL Network, and available on Prime Video if you are a subscriber of that service. Pretty convenient if you are like me and don't like switching back and forth from where you watch most of your programming to, I have an antenna. I'm able to get a lot of these games on that. But also, if you can't watch, make sure to check out WWL Radio, AM 870, FM 1053. I'm going to hammer that again. It's Mike Haas, Deuce McAllister on the call. They do a great job. Sync up the audio to the TV. And y'all have a great time. But, let's get into the game a little bit. Second straight home game down at the Caesars Superdome. Last week against the Bills, you saw a very, very strong Bills road fan contingent. About an hour after the game ended, every Saints fan was out of there as quickly as possible. The Bills hung around. The Bills fans hung around. And part of that was because it was a Thanksgiving game where you have the turkey legs on the field and all that jazz. So Josh Allen, Stephen Diggs, all these guys were out there. I think Dawson Knox after the game. So what you ended up with was, fans hanging around so they could cheer on their guys. And I think that happens on any Thanksgiving night. I don't think it's anything special about New Orleans, but you see some of these teams that travel and it impacts the game. It's a loud environment for the other team in situations they want it to be loud. You, as a home team, you want it to be loud when they don't want it to be loud. And that wasn't the case last week. And it probably won't be the case again this week. Saints are on a 4-game losing streak. I don't blame any season ticket holders for selling. And Cowboys fans travel as well as anybody. If you remember back to 2019, it was a hefty Cowboys crowd there that day. The Saints won on Sunday Night Football 12-10. Not exactly the type of game you expect from the Saints and the Cowboys, but that's what you got. And this week, probably going to be similar. You got Taysom Hill starting at quarterback, according to reports. He's been battling a plantar fascia injury. He's been active the last 2 weeks. He has not played. He's been the backup quarterback, the typical backup, game day backup where you're not getting snaps. He's not in that Taysom Hill role. At least he wasn't the last 2 weeks. He was the backup quarterback. Ian Book was inactive, and it was Trevor Siemian's game. If Trevor Siemian got hurt, Taysom would have been available in an emergency, but they didn't want to put him in there. And you have to wonder exactly how different is it going to be 7 days removed. Your body is not recovering itself faster because there's a game you want to play in on Thursday. And I think Taysom Hill, he kind of echoed that when he talked about it this week. He didn't sound overly confident in that foot. He's hopeful that his foot will not hinder him. And if anyone has had a plantar fascia injury, you are well aware that it's more about pain tolerance than, long-term issues. It's not plantar fasciitis, as, a lot of people will say. You say plantar fasciitis, that's the syndrome. That's the chronic issue that you might deal with. This is a plantar fascia tear. This is something that's going to heal. It's just a matter of time. And the question is, has it been enough time? He said it was a partial tear, which he learned that he would prefer to have a full tear because the partial tear is actually more painful. And, if you see Taysom drop back and he just kind of doesn't look right in the pocket, you have to start wondering if that plantar fascia injury is having a factor. So that's something to watch. Again, we're not going to have Alvin Kamara. You're not going to have Teron Armstead. You're not going to have Ryan Ramczyk. You're not going to have Marcus Davenport. You're not going to have Tano Passanio. You're not going to have Caden Ellis. You're not going to have Michael Thomas. You're not going to have Will Lutz. Am I missing any? You're not going to have CJ Gardner-Johnson on defense. There's so many Saints players out. It's just a matter of whether they can get it done. On the Cowboys side, they have some questions of their own. They have Ezekiel Elliott dealing with a knee injury. that, he's a full participant in practice. The reports around the Cowboys are that they want to sit him down. They want to give him some rest. And it's kind of an odd situation because you kind of assume throughout the course of the season that some guys land on the injury report. They don't play because they're getting rest. They probably could have gutted through it, but it doesn't make sense to do it, so they get them rest. In this case, it's weird to hear a team coming through the media saying, "Hey, we want to give this guy some rest," because that's normally something you'd handle in-house. So to me, that indicates that Zeke doesn't want rest. Zeke wants to play. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out one way or another. Tony Pollard, however you say that guy's name, he's good. He had a return touchdown last week against the Raiders. He's a talented running back, and it's going to be interesting to see how that split is between him and Zeke if Zeke is active. I think the Saints are going to have trouble stopping the run either way because Dak requires you to play a certain way, and that offensive line is always good, and it's going to be interesting to see how they hold up. Again, the Saints, a lot of people are ready to jump off the cliff. I think Taysom Hill offers you some things that Trevor Siemian did not. Even if he's not as mobile as you'd like to see, he has a very strong arm. He can get the ball in there. The receiver I'm looking at, if I had to pick a sleeper who might show up and have a pretty solid to big night, maybe catch a couple touchdowns, I'm looking at Lil Jordan Humphrey. If you go back to training camp, Lil Jordan Humphrey and Taysom Hill connected very often. They connected regularly, and a lot of it was, Taysom's going to throw up a 50-50 ball, just get the ball up high where Lil Jordan can go get it. Remember, Lil Jordan, his name is Lil Jordan. He's a big dude. He's about 6'3", about 220 pounds. He's slimmed down, but he's still a big dude. And Taysom might not have the best touch in the world, but he throws a pretty good jump ball. He rifles the ball in. He has a bit better arm strength. He's kind of a muscle thrower compared to a process thrower like Trevor Siemian. And he gets that ball, and he has a fastball, but the question is, does he have anything but a fastball? But that works well on that back shoulder throw where you're just trying to put it in a spot and let the guy go get it. And Lil Jordan Humphrey, as we talked about to him in the season or in the preseason, told us that he doesn't think of those passes, those balls as 50-50 balls. He looks at them as 80-20 balls because they should be his 8 times out of 10. And I think that connection could flourish a little bit with Taysom Hill compared to Jameis and Trevor Siemian, who didn't seem to have the same type of connection with Lil Jordan in camp. So he's my guy. He's my pick. Saints are, again, big underdogs at home. They're 6-point underdogs to the Cowboys. Cowboys have lost 3 of 4. They have faltered, but so did the Bills. The Bills were struggling until they showed up in the Superdome on Thanksgiving and won 31-6. So don't take that for anything too much. So that's Thursday Night Football, 7:20 p.m. Check it out, WWL AM 870 FM 105.3. And with that, let's move on to our next matchup coming to WWL Radio. No LSU. They played their regular season finale last week. They'll eventually be in a bowl. We don't know what that is yet. So we're going to move over to Sunday. We don't have any of the noon or afternoon starts, but we have Sunday Night Football coming to you from Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. 7:20 p.m. You have the Denver Broncos, the 6-5 Denver Broncos, facing off with the Kansas City Chiefs, 7-4, first in the AFC West. It's the second week in a row we have a game featuring the first place and the fourth place teams in the respective division, and that fourth place team has a winning record. Last week it was the Browns who had a winning record and went to Baltimore and lost. Baltimore is still leading that division. They're the number 1 seed in the AFC now. This week it's the Denver Broncos, led by former Saints quarterback Teddy Bridgewater, a guy they'd probably like to have right about now, leading the 6-5 Denver Broncos, 4th in their division against the first place team. But a win by the Broncos would mean I'd have to check the standings table, but they're going to jump over the Chiefs. Whether they jump to first is another question. There's some tiebreaker questions in play there, but it's rare to see a fourth place team be 1 game out of first place in their division, but that's what this is, an incredibly tight division race. There are tight division races all across the board. So these head-to-head matchups, these division matchups are massive. And the Saints are going to be in a similar position if they can win a couple games, if they can break that schneid against the Bucs. But for now, it's the Chiefs. Pat Mahomes are coming off a bye. They struggled to start the year. They've picked it up lately, and it's been impressive. It's just a question of whether they can be consistent, whether Pat Mahomes can cut out the turnovers, whether he can use Tyreek Hill in the way that he needs to. And we'll see what happens, see how that develops throughout the day. Check it all out. Don't miss a moment. Sunday Night Football, 7:20 p.m. over on NBC and WWL Radio, AM 870 FM 105.3. Okay, one more matchup. Again, this is the Week 13 Fall Football Preview brought to you by the Louisiana Office of Tourism. Get together in Louisiana. Check out louisianahomecoming.com for more information. Final game of the week, Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football. And again, we have a premier AFC matchup. And again, it's two teams in the same division with the top team needing a win to stay in that spot. And you have the New England Patriots visiting the Buffalo Bills. Yes, the same Buffalo Bills team that the Saints are very familiar with. They are a half game out of first place in their division. This is the first head-to-head matchup between the Patriots and the Bills. Saints have played both of these teams this year. The Patriots are a much different team, are playing like a much different team right now than what we saw in week 3 when the Saints went in there and really kind of stuck it to them for probably their biggest win of the year to this point. It's an impressive game for the Saints. It was a less than impressive game for the Patriots. Mac Jones threw 3 interceptions, one to Marshawn Lattimore to seal the game. And, they have a rookie quarterback, and he's progressing the way you'd expect a rookie quarterback to progress. Mac Jones has gotten better and better and better, and the Patriots are the Patriots. Bill Belichick's an excellent coach, and they're always going to be there. The question in the past has been, will anyone in the division stand up to him, right? For about the majority of Tom Brady's career, the answer was no. The Dolphins, Bills, and Jets were just a laughing stock of that rest of that division. And the Patriots just had the ability to cakewalk into the playoffs. And while they won all these Super Bowls, and you have to give them credit for all of that, the ability to just get into the playoffs with very little difficulty helps. It helps. It just does. I mean, there's no question. You look at the Saints last year. Their ability to just kind of cakewalk into the playoffs made the season easier for them. They were able to rest guys down the stretch. They didn't win in the playoffs, but getting there is a huge part of the battle. And you've seen this year just how significant injuries can be. And the fact that the Saints, while they're still live in the division race, they have a very, very steep hill to climb to overtake Tampa Bay. They still have a head-to-head matchup left, and they can win that tiebreaker, and that'll put them pretty close. But they're still going to need help because these injuries have made it so difficult to compete. And, when there's no one else in the division, that question becomes, how can we get these guys healthy? Not how can we win as we get these guys healthy? Because you're going to win either way. And it also doesn't matter because you can get the division title without that 11 wins, 12 wins. You can get it with 10. You can get it with 9. And that's not the case for the Patriots this year. The Bills are good. The Bills have struggled in the last month or so, but they seem to be getting it back on track. They played really well against the Saints. Saints obviously didn't put much of a fight up in that game, but this is a team that can win games, especially at home. It's going to be cold up in Buffalo. Bills Mafia is going to be jumping through tables. Can the Patriots just continue to assert that dominance that they had? They had an off year last year. They got the rookie quarterback. He's playing well. Is this just the new era of Patriots dominance, or can the Bills prove that they own that division? Find out on Monday night, 7:15 p.m. over on ESPN. Again, WWL Radio, AM 870, FM 105 through the Bills, 3.5-point favorites in that game. So Vegas thinks that this is their division now, even if the Patriots are holding the lead as we speak. But that's it for me. Again, my name is Jeff Nowak, WWL digital sports producer, bringing you the Week 13 fall football preview sponsored by the Louisiana Office of Tourism. Get together in Louisiana and check out louisianahomecoming.com for more information. Check me out on Twitter at Jeff_Nowak. Make sure to check out all the latest headlines on Odyssey.com/WWL. Check us out on Twitter at WWLAMFM. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching somewhere else, there's the YouTube channel. Check it out. New video updates every day. A lot of these live chats. I try to do a lot of viewer interaction. I like to hear from y'all. We're going to do a live chat before the game. We do one every week, but 2 hours before kickoff. Make sure to tune in for that. Deuce McAllister comes on, and we talk about his keys to victory, all that good stuff. And I enjoy hearing from y'all. So make sure to let me know. And let me know if you'd like to hear anything else. We also have the pregame show starting at about 5 p.m. So check that out. Christian Garrick and Bobby Aber leading you up to kickoff. Again, that's Saints Cowboys tonight, 7:20 p.m. on the NFL Network, Prime Video, and Fox. Also, obviously, as I've said a million times, WWL AM 870 FM 105.3. All right, y'all. Let's see what happens this week. Saints win? Saints win? We'll see. All right, y'all. Peace.